Hello guys, my name's Rich, welcome back to the channel, thank you so much for tuning in. Today we're going to be talking about my debut album Sensations and going through each track one by one just to spill the beans and some gossip, and also because it's what a girl wants and it's what a girl needs. So yeah, I hope you enjoy. But before we get cracking, please do go and do me a massive favour and subscribe to my channel. I've got lots of exciting stuff coming up and I can't wait for you guys to see it and get involved. So what are we waiting for? Let's get cracking with track number one. So track number one is a song called Shells, which is a bit of an angry motherfucker if I'm honest with you. In May 2017, I went into town and bought myself an acoustic guitar, purely because I wanted to start writing some songs. Before that, I'd just done gigs at hotels and pubs and festivals and just done covers, until somebody said to me, you know what, you should try writing your own songs. So I thought, well, I'm gonna need a guitar. So I went to Island Music in Jersey and I bought an acoustic guitar, and that day I came back, sat in my conservatory and just started noodling, just messing around with some chords, some little melodies and stuff. And I remember at that point in my life, I had been facing a lot of opposition from family members. I won't mention any particular names, but family members who perhaps weren't so sure on where my life was going, and I didn't fucking know where it was going either, so a bit of a problem. They started saying some unkind things, so in response to their opposition, I decided to write some lyrics about how angry I was. So Shells is basically a bit of a middle finger up to anybody who tries to put you down or stands in the way of your dreams, and nobody should be allowed to do that because you should be able to do whatever the hell you want. So yeah, this song holds some special significance over the others because it was the first one I wrote for the album, and then when it came to track listing I thought, well, there's nowhere else where it fits, so I thought I might as well put it at the start and kick it off. It was actually inspired by Phil Collins quite a lot, and I think that's reflected in the different types of percussion you hear in it. There's a bit of Afro-Cuban percussion in there, there's a standard drum kit. I wanted to make it quite varied because obviously it's the first album and you want to try experimenting with as many different things as possible. So yeah, Shells is a good one. I hope. You get to decide. Track number two is a bit of a depressing one. It's called Drowning, and I wrote this when I was at work one day. Don't tell my boss. But I was on a break from work and I just started scribbling down some lyrics on a sheet of paper. And then I got home, picked up my guitar and started doing some little finger picking techniques and including lots of minor chords, and that's when the song became really kind of sad and chilled and poignant, and yeah, you get the gist. Originally I didn't know what the meaning behind this song was, but the more I've thought about it and the more it's been played to people, people have said, you know, it sounds like that you're kind of reaching out and offering support to a loved one or a friend who's in need of a shoulder to cry on, and that's exactly what it's about. It's about coming together and reassuring somebody that they're going to be okay, even after they've been through a tough time. I've actually recently just put out a live video for Drowning, so it would be awesome if you guys went and checked it out. You'll find it on the channel. It's called Drowning Live from Home, which sounds really sinister. I'm not in my bath, I promise you. Drowning is a fun one to play live, although you can't really do it when there's a loud audience nearby because it's got to be nice and hush. You don't often get that in a gig environment, so yeah, you've got to be careful where you place it in the set list. Track number three is the title track. It's called Sensations. Now, I remember when I first started writing this, the lyrics came from a poem which I'd written a few years before about a girl that I'd liked. The poem was called Bestowed, I think, and for some reason I just remember liking some of the lines that I'd included in there, and I picked up my guitar, I started playing some chords really fast and tried putting these lyrics in to fit around the tempo in the melody. And it worked, and this song came up called Sensations. Now at the start it was very much an acoustic song, but then it became a kind of very sort of upbeat, energetic, 80s inspired pop rock song, I guess. It was also the first single from the album because I feel like it reflects a lot of the energy that comes from the songs. I feel like it was inspired again by Phil Collins, who was a massive influence, and also you can definitely hear, I'd say, some David Bowie and Duran Duran in there as well. Check out the Bowie vinyl in the background, he's sitting there. I think Bowie's sitting in all of his YouTube videos somewhere. Love him, gotta love him. I'd say it's the most upbeat song on the album, so if you're looking for something to dance to or just feel good, just vibe along to, then Sensations is probably a good shout. The next track almost bounces off Sensations a little bit because it's really upbeat and energetic again. This one's called Lemonade Life, but in spite of the upbeat theme, the lyrics are a little bit more serious. It's actually about people who struggle to be themselves when they go out. That's something which I particularly struggle with. You kind of go out into society and feel like you have to put on a mask, like a persona, so that you don't disappoint your friends because you're not lively enough or not energetic enough. And I remember one day this term lemonade life just came into my head, and I thought, oh, I wonder what that could mean. And then I started writing these lyrics about this girl who's going through this issue, and I thought to myself, oh, maybe lemonade life kind of represents that sort of bubbliness that people put on but actually don't feel comfortable putting on, because by the time they get home they're absolutely exhausted. So I feel like it's a social pressure that we all kind of face. Let me know in the comments if this is a thing. It might not be a thing, it might just be me, but it's something that I definitely feel very, very strongly about. But obviously it's got a very fast tempo, it's got very, very heavy drums, there's a lot of piano and guitar work in there, again reminiscent of the 80s. So if you like 80s music, then please do get on it. Yeah, check out Lemonade Life and let me know what you think. The next song on the album is one of the darkest and personal ones I've written. It's a song called Wet Feet. Again, it's pretty somber. As a young kid, I was very anxious about a lot of things and very nervous and very agitated. So this is kind of about me revisiting all of those childhood fears and trying to deal with them in the present. It's quite a long song as well, it's 6.5 minutes. I remember I was going to try and make it around 4 minutes and potentially release it as a single. I got quite carried away in the instrumentation of this one. There's almost like a weird twanging acoustic guitar bit in the bridge, and there's lots of kind of atmospheric vocal harmonies that happen. It was almost a bit of a Queen moment, I guess. I got quite carried away and wanted to go a bit over the top, and as a result Wet Feet came out. I think because I was so anxious as a child, I would often feel very kind of on edge, you know, almost like you've got an itch that you can't scratch and you don't know exactly what's wrong. And I remember I used to go in the sea a lot when I was a kid, and I used to come out with soaking wet feet. And that image stuck in my mind when I was writing the lyrics, and for some reason that connected with how I felt when I was anxious. So I just thought, oh, okay, it's a bit of a sexy metaphor. It's not really sexy. Sweaty toes. There is a bit of a dreamy sort of dystopian feel with this song because it doesn't really fit in with the others. I think it's the atmospherics of the vocal harmonies and the guitars and the piano. They kind of feel quite otherworldly. I guess it's a bit of an ambient song, whereas the others are kind of more straightforward pop rock songs, you know, verse, chorus. Wet Feet has that similar sort of structure, but in terms of the sounds, it's quite different. So I think it stands out. Get to You! This is track number 6. Don't know why I did that. Just felt right. Get to You is a pop rock song that was the 3rd single from the album, and this song is about long distance relationships and the importances of making them work. Now, I remember I was in my flat in 2nd year of university and writing some lyrics down about me and my girlfriend. We'd been together for quite a long time, but up until that point obviously things get quite uncertain because you're going to be living far away from each other. You don't know how long you're going to be living away from each other for. That song was kind of about the anxieties and the fears of potentially losing her, I guess. And I know that I had a lot of friends at uni who were also going a similar sort of thing. So it's something we used to chat about a lot. The chorus goes, I'll break the rules, turn up late for school, I've got to get to you, I'll move somewhere new, I don't have a clue, I'll beg and plead, show you what I really mean. So it's kind of like a plea to stay with them. There's a lot of yearning and ache in this song. So it's an emotional one, but it's very fast paced, it's very rocky, and I really like playing this one at gigs. This one actually got a lot of lovely reception when the album first came out, so yeah, if you like pop rock songs that are also a little bit lovey-dovey, then please do go and check this one out. I hope you like it. I'm sure you will if you like those sorts of songs. Writing the songs for the whole album of Sensations generally was a really wonderful experience for me because I found it very cathartic and it allowed me to express a lot of emotions that I generally would otherwise find quite difficult. Mental health has always been such an important thing in my life, and I have struggled, and I feel that songwriting enables to kind of take you to another place, and if you can find certain phrases in the form of lyrics and create melodies that reflect those feelings, it can really help you register with them and help you come to terms with them. And a song like Get to You, I think, really did that for me. And of course, you know, it continues because you get to play them live and you kind of revisit that emotion and wash over it. You go through that sort of cleansing period again that you'd originally gone through when writing lyrics. I've always found singing and performing to be incredibly cathartic and incredibly therapeutic. If you're having a bad day, honestly, just sitting down at a piano or picking up a guitar and singing your heart out can do amazing things for you. Maybe try it, if you don't already. Okay, this next song is an interesting one because I am not a rapper by any means, and I don't pretend to be a rapper because I can't rap. However, when this came out, I was accused of being a rapper. And let's just say there's a lot of lyrics in it, and I tried fitting them all into a short space in a short amount of time and ended up speaking them very quickly like I am now. And it became a bit of a rap, a quasi-rap song, let's just say that, with rapped verses and a sung chorus. I Did All I Could is a stream of consciousness song. I had a lot of thoughts and a lot of ideas about the subject I was writing about, and I just kind of went and just vomited on the page and just got all these words out. Usually I like to be quite clipped with lyrics and, you know, not use too many words and phrases and that sort of thing, but with this one I thought, no, fuck it, I'm just gonna put everything out there and not hold myself back. In terms of the subject matter for I Did All I Could, it's about a friend of mine who I had who was going through a tough time, quite an abusive relationship actually, and because of that they clashed a lot and they just had completely different priorities. You know, one of them wanted to go to uni and study and the other one just wanted to shag basically. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to write a song about this and the frustration that the pair of them were feeling. It doesn't necessarily take one person's side, it kind of gives both points of view. It's a song that takes on its own life live, which is really nice. You have to have a lot of breath to get through all the lyrics, but it's a fun one, and I guess it does kind of have that Ed Sheeran-esque nature about it with the rapped verses and the sung choruses. There's a line in it that goes, "Come on, you don't mean what you say, we might as well be prancing around on stage in a Miller play." And that came about because I was at university studying drama, and when we were looking at kind of the theatrics of plays, it made me think, oh, you know, the world is a stage and we're all going through shit. Quite often like an Arthur Miller play. I did all I could to make that sound coherent. I don't know, but it said I was one gig when next get laid. Oh dear. Oh dear, no, we're not keeping that in. The next track is a song called Blind at What You've Got Till It's Gone. Now this is a heartbreaking one. I'm sorry guys. It's very sad and very depressing and very upsetting. When I broke up, just me, just fell apart one day. Just cracked into pieces. No, there was a relationship I was in that ended, and it happened very, very suddenly. And this song kind of speaks for itself really. It's about not being aware of what you have until you've lost it. More specifically, it's about the hopelessness that you feel in that moment, and your brain just kind of disconnects and you just go, oh my god, what do I do? You feel like you're losing control, you feel like you're going over the edge. So that song touches on those very fragile emotions, and for that reason it's a very fragile song. It's very sparse in terms of music. There's some simple piano chords, there's some emotional strings in the background, and obviously the vox. But apart from that, that's about it. And it's got a very kind of simple structure. It goes verse, chorus, and then in the end there's just this instrumental section that just kind of goes into nowhere. There's no more vocals, there's just like a piano solo, there's a few more strings and atmospheric instruments that come in, but really it's about being left in that hopeless moment and not having an answer, because sometimes there are no answers in a situation like that. Sometimes you just have to let yourself go with time and let the wounds heal until you get over it. I don't often play this one live because obviously you need a quiet room, and I don't often perform in quiet rooms. However, during lockdown I did do quite a lot of online gigs, and I did play this one a few times just on my own in my living room on the piano, and it was really nice. Again, it's a very vulnerable song. I feel like it allows me to be vulnerable. That's something which I probably don't do enough. I probably don't face up to my emotions enough, but with songs like this I feel like you can really let yourself go and just have a good old cry, have a good old weep. This is good to cry. Okay, we've reached the penultimate song. Thank you so much for sticking with me, guys. If you've got this far with me, I really, really appreciate it. Please remember to go and like and subscribe if you're liking what you hear. Anyway, here we go. The penultimate track is called I Just Can't Stop Loving You. Now this was a song that nearly didn't make the album actually, because I remember the mixing process was almost complete. We were going to master the album, and then I thought, do you know what, this song needs an explosive anthem in the style of Genesis or Phil Collins. Let's do it. So I started writing lyrics about a situation that was very close to my heart, specifically domestic abuse, not the nicest of subjects. There's a line in it which says I'd speak out if I had a mouth, and often I know that's how people in abusive relationships can feel. So yeah, this is a very dark song, And I remember it being very, very spontaneous when I recorded this in my home studio. Everything was kind of very raw, and the vocals were done pretty much in one take. By the end of the song, there's this kind of explosion of emotion that I don't think you really get anywhere else on the album. It becomes very dramatic. I'm almost practically screaming my lungs out. It stayed out of the live set for a very, very long period of time until last year in 2020, during the COVID-19 lockdown, I decided to play the entire album of Sensations live on Facebook, which was an amazing experience. I've never done anything like that before. It was terrifying as hell, but it was really, really great. And that was the first time I pulled out I Just Can't Stop Loving You. And I think that's the only time I've ever played it. You'll find that under my Facebook page, Rich Allo Music, which I posted the link for below. So yeah, please do go check out I Just Can't Stop Loving You. It's one of those songs that I feel very proud of, but I don't like to touch or go near too much, just because it feels very special and it was quite raw. But who knows? You know, when gigs start again, which will hopefully be soon, I might pull it out the bag and play it live again. Okay, the next song is the last song on the album, and it's called Life Song. Now this one has a very, very special place in my heart. It's very personal, very emotional, very important to me. I was writing the bridge for Wet Feet one day in late 2017, and I came across this chord progression that suddenly tugged at a little something inside, and I thought, no, this can't be the bridge, this has to be a separate song. And I started writing the lyrics. There was a time in my life when it seemed like everything was scaring me. I picked up the guitar again, started fiddling around with some chords, and within 10 minutes this new song was complete. And I think to this day it's probably the fastest song that I've ever written, which they say is usually a good sign. And I was writing lyrics about my experiences of anxiety and depression as a teenager, about the struggles that I had at school, the struggles I had in my family life. And I don't know, I found myself feeling really tearful actually, and very vulnerable, because I feel like I was uncovering something that I hadn't previously addressed. And then I got to the chorus, and then somehow out of the blue this phrase la, la, da, da, just popped into my head, and I was like, what the hell is that? Where does that come from? So I started writing down this phrase, and then by the time I got to the end of the song, I realised that phrase reflected my perception of other people seemingly going about their lives and being happy. And I think that's a common thing with mental health issues. You know, people who are struggling will compare themselves to everyone else in their life and go, oh, they're doing okay, or they haven't got any problems, they seem to be fine. You know, life is da, 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 da. It's all happy, fun and games or whatever. I recorded this one in the Visconti studio in Kingston upon Thames with an amazing musician called Alexander Frazira. I reached out to him one day and we hired the studio, which is amazing by the way, because it's Tony Visconti who set it up, who's worked with so many artists, including David Bowie. So it was a really awesome experience to get in there. And we worked from 9 PM till 5 the following morning. So needless to say, I think I slept all day the next day because we just worked our absolute arses off. But we were able to record that song, and it's one that I'm really, really proud of, and it's done heaps of good for me, and I hope that it's done a lot of good for everyone else. It's a very uplifting and hopeful song, and it is designed to give hope to people if they're having a difficult time, and I'm hoping that anybody out there who is having a tough time at the moment, who happens to come across the song or listen to it, I really do hope that it helps you in some way. There is hope, and there is always a way to get through, and you will get through. That's the most important thing. So there we are guys, that is all the songs. Thank you so much for sticking with me this far and tuning in and watching and finding a little bit more about the songs. Please do me a favour, if you have liked the video then please let me know by leaving a like. Also please comment below, what is your favourite song on the album if you've heard it, or how does music help you? Because I'd love to know. Just take a minute now and just drop it in the comments and we'll start a conversation about this, because I'm really, really excited to hear what you guys think. Also, if you want to see more content then please do subscribe. I'm uploading videos weekly now. And yeah, I can't wait for you to become part of this journey and be there with me, because yeah, exciting times are ahead in spite of the doom and gloom of COVID. If you would like to hear the album, then I've included all the links below. You can get it on Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon, and if you want to read generally about the songs, then you can find that on my website, which again I've included below. And there's plenty of exciting stuff coming up on social media, which I'm really, really excited to share with you. Thanks so much guys, you take care and have yourselves a lovely day or night. Bye!
No.
Oh yeah, I see, yeah.